One of the more confusing parables in the canonical tradition is found in the Gospel of Luke chapter 18, where the Lord talks about the Pharisee and the tax collector. So you probably remember that particular story. Here's this tax collector who beats his breast because he thinks he's unworthy to even pray to God. And here's the Pharisee who says, thank God I'm not like this tax collector. And the thing to keep in mind with regards to the story is that the Pharisee is not faking it, right? So when he talks about how he tithes and how he fasts and how he prays multiple times throughout the course of the day, he's telling the truth. Like he's doing all those things, right? So it kind of begs the question, like, what's the point of the gospel? Well, in a certain sense, the whole point of the gospel is to point out that it is actually possible to be engaged in the external trappings of religion, whether we're talking about, saying prayers, attending Mass, or even attending Catholic courses, but at the same time, to not really be growing in a sense of humility or service or love, but instead to be going the opposite direction, where we're filled with all sorts of ego and pride, thinking to ourselves that because I'm doing all these things, therefore I'm better than my neighbor, or perhaps more to the point, I am beyond the grace of conversion, which is obviously a terrible thing. Because if I start to think of Christ as being necessary for the salvation simply of others and not myself, well then clearly that's a great gap in terms of my notion of God, my image of God, and my relationship with God. And so if you pray into it, if you feel that you're living in that space, again, of pride and egotism, where you think Christ's salvation is meant for other people as opposed to for yourself because you don't need it, well, maybe that's something you need to kind of revisit in a really intentional sort of way over the course of these remaining weeks of Lent.